fogo mesmo.
Well, he's a bit of a fun artist.
E ele tem umas comentários do mesmo.
Last time you were here, I mean, actually the first time was for Rock in Rio. I mean, what were your first impressions about the country? I mean, how was that?
Well, my first impression of Rock in Rio was?
No, but the country, I mean, this?
It smelled really funny.
Well,
because it was, what, it was a week long, right?
10 days long.
10 days long, and people weren't moving to go to the bathroom. So we walked out on the stage, and it was like...
But could you feel it from the stage? I mean,
oh, yeah, man, it was intense. I've never really smelled anything like that before.
Do you remember that night? I mean, who else played with you?
Guns N' Roses, Billy Idol.
So that was like...
That's all I remember.
Almost the wildest night, maybe the wildest night. How was the audience? It was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the biggest show we've ever done.
Really?
It was scary. I couldn't tell how many people were actually in the audience.
Did you have a full
until
view?
I watched Guns N' Roses, because they lit up the crowd. I was like, because I thought it was just people in front of me, but there were people here, here, here.
Is that, are you fucking snapping up there? Wait up there.
What did you think of it before coming here? What did you know about it?
Well, what a lot of people talk about in America is the Amazon, of course.
Sure.
And how it's just getting destroyed and all that. So if that's, you know, you think Brazil, you think, I'm going to come to Brazil and I'm going to see trees getting knocked over and tractors and people getting pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Well, which really didn't happen to me, at least. Yeah.
That's the way Brazil is portrayed in America.
Mm-hmm. And then you got here and you saw all those things. I mean, was it too different from the idea you had previously?
Yeah.
The music here, I mean, you didn't imagine you had so many fans here.
Yeah.
Talking about fans. And after that, how did you decide to come back here? How did it happen?
Well, we had a lot of success at the Rock in Rio show. Mm-hmm. And we heard that our record was doing really well.
Sure.
We heard The Edge of the World was like really popular. And there was a bunch more offers, so we said, yeah, let's come back to Brazil.
Look into my eyes, I see it all. Every hand together we go.
Rock in Rio, you were at the end of a tour, maybe, wasn't it? The world tour?
Well, we've been touring off and on for 2 years, playing the same songs over and over and over.
And how is it? Because you have to do this.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
Well, it's great when you can do it in a different country.
Mm.
But when you go home and you do that in front of your home fans, it's embarrassing.
Do you still keep that other band that you used to have before Faith No More?
Yeah.
How do you deal with both things? Actually, you were doing that before you started Faith No More.
Since high school.
And how did it happen, like, going to Faith No More? The guys saw you?
Yeah, they saw me. Or no, they just heard a tape, actually. They heard a tape and called me up.
And what kind of music were you playing in that tape? I mean, because
death metal.
Death metal, which is a little bit different from Faith No More stuff. And but would you call this last album material death metal too?
Faith No More?
No, Mr. Bango.
No. It's a little different. It's more experimental. It's like Shusha.
You were working with John Zorn in this.
Yes? You know John Zorn?
Yeah, he's a little bit known here. I mean, and how did you get together? This was the first work you did together?
Yeah.
And how did it happen?
We just met him, and we were a big fan of his music, and he really liked Mr. Bungle, so we said, produce our album, and he said, okay.
And what does he do in this album? Just producing?
He just produces it, yeah. But he makes, we got him because in Mr. Bungle, the sounds are very different. Like, each part is different, like a little section.
Sure.
And he just makes certain sections stick out and certain sections pull back. He's really good at making things sound extreme.
And what the band Faith No More thinks of Mr. Bungle?
I don't know. You better ask him.
No, but I think, do they complain about it? Does it interfere with your work with the band? No, not really.
Every now and then.
You have some conflict, maybe.
No, it's good.
Do you tour?
It's healthy.
Do you tour Mr. Bungle?
No.
No, it's just a studio thing.
Yeah. Well, we haven't yet. We may.
Because with Faith No More right now, what are the plans?
Writing new songs.
Just the usual. And
yeah, writing new songs. We're going to record next month probably.
Already?
New record, yeah.
Well,
We have a bunch
actually,
of new songs done already.
The thing with the real thing, the album, is that it happened, it took such a long time to happen, isn't it? You said you were working on this album for 2 years, I mean,
Yeah.
tours and all that. Would you feel like maybe it would be better if it happened just at once, like one big thing, and then you were finished with that? Or how was this 2 years process?
Well, it was weird because we kept, what you do is you record an album, and then there's this certain period of time where you have to support the album.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do it, and we would think, okay, the album's dying, no one's buying it anymore. And then all of a sudden, like, we put a video out, and people would start buying it, so we have to keep playing. And, like, you have to start all over again and act like, because the album's new to all these people that you're playing for.
Okay.
The video is not really, the video has a lot less to do with a band than you would think.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but would you be more specific? I mean, you wouldn't perform like that on stage, or like...
No, but in the context of a video, things happen that don't normally happen because there's cameras rolling. Like right now, you know what I mean? It isn't real life. It's strange. You sit there all day in a room like this with cameras on you, and the music's playing, and you have to, you know, like in the mirror when you were a kid,
Sure.
and you have to dance around and act like you're not singing or anything. It's like you're a monkey, a shaved monkey.
And the first
Macaco.
Being an actor on stage, are you yourself when you're there? Or?
It's hard to tell anymore. You just go on stage, and when you hear the music, this thing happens, and it's like a movie.
But in the beginning,
And then it's over.
you were looking for a character maybe, because from what I've read about you, you're not like that in your personal life. I mean, you're not like this weird guy that goes and makes faces for everybody. Are you like that? From what I've read, I mean, could you do like a funny character?
Well, in real life,
in real life, yeah.
this is what I am.
Okay, actually, who's this girl? Actually, you're trying something.
That's me. No.
Policia.
Policia. Aeronautica. You're under arrest.
You're talking about a voice that you've heard in Brazil. You're thinking about sampling it?
Edith Lettieri.
You
Mi
better,
amore y esposa.
you better explain to people. who is she.
Gostosa.
You never knew her. I mean, okay. But
I love her. I've fallen in love with her. Her voice.
I mean,
In the airport?
What did you, at the airport?
Yeah.
Like just saying things like flight number.
Yes, because early in the morning we get up at like 4:30 in the morning. We go to the airport, and in the morning we're all in bad moods.
Sure.
And we get to the airport, and we don't say anything to each other. We don't even want to look at each other. We're just the whole time. And we get there. First thing you hear in the airport, flight. There's one.
It seems that you've seen a lot of animals in that Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
I mean, how was that trip on the boat? I mean, was it weird? You took a boat, wasn't it?
Yeah, we took a boat.
It seems like you and the whole group like adventures.
Yeah. We like to go out and like when we're in a city and see things and do things. Because when you're on tour, people really encourage you. Like, you have your management and the people that you tour with. Really, just the whole situation encourages like some kind of sheltering. I mean, you go into a hotel, and it kind of makes you think room service, wake-up calls. You know, you get into this whole framework of like being in a cage.
Sure.
It encourages you not to go out, so we like to go against that.
But I mean, do you always look for a thrill, or is that a part of?
Yeah, it comes out of boredom, I think. I mean, when you're touring, like I said, you know,
Yeah, but
you're supposed to sleep and play and wait, and so we like to go against that. We like to go look for things to do.
So, talking about this period before the band, you're like a latecomer for Faith No More. How much do you think that the sound of the band changed with you?
I don't know. That's a tough one. It was strange for me. I mean, the stuff that I was used to doing, I was used to singing really weird stuff, and this to me was a little more straightforward. So it was like discipline. I had to train myself.
And if you finally like made it, I mean, how
yeah,
serious do you feel singing those songs the first time?
It was weird at first, but I was happy just to be in a band and to go on tour. I'd never been on tour before. So my attitude was sit in my room for 2 weeks, write lyrics, and let's go on tour.
You didn't really change the sounds of Faith No More.
I'm sure I did, yeah.
But since the beginning?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think that, I mean, basically the main difference is the voice. I mean, people might say that the music is more commercial. I don't know. Maybe my voice is more commercial than the other guys. I don't know. When you take, you know, my voice in Mr. Bungle or whatever, I do what has to be done to make the music stick out. I think that's what I try and do. But with Faith No More, there's like a certain framework that I have to fit my voice into, and that's what happened.
And how did it happen? I mean, the band tried to teach you something, or
Not really, no.
You were trying to adapt yourself to the situation.
Kinda. It was a little uncomfortable at first, and they just let me stay in my room.
And did they make like changes on the lyrics you wrote the first time?
Not really. We took out a foudet here and there.
Some for the here, some for the there.
Foudet.
All right. Like now we put those beeps, okay? Yeah.
Bota pra foudet.
La polizia vai a tomar no cu!
If you make a mental, like a visual image, that's the way I do it a lot, with Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. I think, okay, this song looks like a big fat guy walking down the street, drinking Guaraná, then he kicks a dog in the face, and then he vomits onto an old lady laying on the sidewalk. I mean, you think of things like that, and then you write a song.
In the songs in Mr. Bungle album, and also sometimes with Faith No More, it seems that both bands have a position that, yes, we hate any kind of dance music, which is totally infesting the charts now.
That's not true.
Ladies with an attitude, fellas, let's get in the mood. Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Shake the pose, there's nothing to it.
Some things I think you have to like for wrong reasons. Like Vanilla Ice.
Right.
You don't like him because he's good, you like him because he's horrible.
Okay, you do just the opposite.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lot, hate and love.
Yeah. Things like that. New Kids, that kind of stuff. It's like looking at it's like reading Opovo or Aqui Agora.
Yeah.
It's a fascination. It's like blood and guts, sangue.
But the thing is, there seems to be a fight between dance and rock in the charts right now. I'm trying to think of Billboard now, and you have, okay, dance is like infesting the charts, and rock is losing its space. I mean, I wouldn't say like, okay.
That's fine with me, man. I hope rock dies.
Really?
I'm not sticking up, and I don't think anybody in Faith No More is sticking up for rock. That's not what we're about.
So you go.
To me, rock and roll's dead long ago.
Yeah,
I've never liked it.
That's the thing. They're trying to say, no, rock is not dead, and let's promote it, and which is totally...
No, it's dead. Everyone, it's dead. Let it go. If you learn about sex through magazines, sex becomes very impersonal and automated.
What is the best way to learn about it?
Well,
Doing it.
exactly. Experimenting. Finding other ways. How did you find out?
Well, you were interviewing here. But anyway,
No, I want to know.
okay, it's off the camera then. No.
I think they want to know, too.
Well, they know already. I'll
No,
tell
they
the
don't.
time. Yeah, whenever I do an interview, I mention this.
Come on, man.
Dang it.
I'm here pouring out my soul, man.
Listen, for you to get in touch with a thing, it came late for you, maybe.
Tímido?
No, me? Already, are you? He's trying to...
Ele es tímido.
He's trying to get out of the subject. That's the whole thing.
No fala de sexo.
No, I just ask about sex. That's it.
Somebody put me together.
Talking about open mind, you've been here in kind of different shows. I mean, you've been to places where you would see live nude shows.
And you have to see places like that. You have to go to favelas, and then you have to see a nice restaurant or Corcovado or something like that.
But specifically about the shows, I mean, you would never see a show like this in the United States, maybe, would you?
It's more of an act. It's forbidden in America to show penetration.
Oh, and
You know? So it's an act. They act. They don't really do it. Here it's sexo explicito.
Exactly. I mean, do you think that this has a kind of influence on the way people behave here? I don't know how much
I
you
think,
know.
well, sex in America, we are very repressed.
Still.
Still, yes. People are very afraid of sex. Very afraid.
If you were talking about sex with friends, this same situation would happen?
Well, there's a period of time where you just start talking about it. And for me, when I was really young, I used to masturbate in front of everyone because I didn't know. My parents didn't tell me it was a bad thing.
And how was the reaction, if you can remember that?
Well,
just don't do it. It was like
I think my parents kind of got a kick out of it. I think it was like entertainment for them. we would have friends over. Like my parents would have friends over, and
That might come into your numbers, right?
well, kind of, yeah. It's like, you know how they say, oh, play the piano for everybody.
Yeah.
My parents would say, come on, Mike, show them your dick.
And you would just
Mike, tocar la pinto.
okay. And then very spontaneously you would just
Sure, yeah.
do it.
Because I didn't know it was a private thing. There's a day where you realize this is something I shouldn't be doing in front of people anymore. And I just went into my room, and I do it in my room instead. But I would still tell everyone.
But this was like a...
It's okay, I'm going to masturbate.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
See you in a while. See you in 30 seconds.
Did it happen really late for you? With like, or no?
Sex?
Yeah.
With other people? Yeah. 19, I think.
And this is like, because you have all your circle of relations that say, oh, you haven't done it yet, so how come?
No, I thought sex was stupid.
Really?
I was very straight. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I got great grades. I really studied a lot. I was really focused and well, let's just say dumb.
Why not?
I vowed to myself. I said I don't want to drink, and I don't want to have sex because I equated that with drinking and being drunk and being stupid. So I thought sex was dumb.
Do you think you
Slobbering and talking baby talk and.
Did you think you used to be like that because of your family? What made you behave like that?
Probably, no, I think it was more so my friends. I had about 3 or 4 or 5 friends that I was really close with, and everyone else I hated.
And they had the same thoughts?
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it was like a pact.
I see. And
But it was like Lord of the Flies. Did you read that book?
yes.
It's like that, because each one of us started dropping off, and one by one.
Did you read that book before?
Yeah.
Being in this group, so it was like an influence.
It was, yeah. Well, not really.
No,
It was
just
just
a reference, maybe.
Yeah.
You are now like you're in the business now, so people are expecting you to behave like the rock stars they know. I mean,
Like an asshole, yeah.
like an asshole maybe. But I mean, do they get disappointed when they know that you would not really like that?
I don't know. I think a lot of people expect you to come out and be ham.
Sure.
You know, like make faces and things like that, and that's great and everything, but you can only do that for so long.
Do you think? How do you see yourself or the band in the music scene? Because since you don't have the same attitude that the whole rock, the majority of rock bands have. I mean, you are a little bit different, so you never want to be like a big band like those assholes.
No, I think it's great, but I just I don't like. It's for most bands, I think it's like a package. They become big, and a lot of people start liking them, and they think they have to behave a certain way. They think they have to take a lot of drugs and play the whole game. I'm not very good at it, but that's all I can say. I haven't figured it out yet. My hair does not stand up very well. I don't look that good with makeup on. I can't move like that, you know.
But the thing is, these people do that just because of their image. I mean,
no, it's a formula. It's if like say Guns N' Roses, they're really big. A lot of bands, especially American bands, hear Guns N' Roses. It's association. They think if we sound like that and we look like that, we're going to be big too. And so a lot of bands try and do that. I think we're more nice guys. I don't think we're like bad guys like Guns N' Roses, like throwing beer bottles and stuff. I think we're more like Aha or New Kids. I think we're very straight ahead. I think it's very normal, don't you think?
You don't regret being too famous now, or as famous enough to be bothered to people. Do you regret what happened to the band now?
No.
But you never. On the other hand, you never thought about being a star as big as you are now.
No. Well, you guys don't really know the whole spectrum here in Brazil, I must say.
So what is it?
We're not this big everywhere else.
But I mean,
no one really likes us this much.
No.
It's true. I'm telling you.
But I mean, you are more. I mean, you might not be Guns N' Roses, but I mean.
Unknown, but it's not like this.
Yo! Oi! Oi, menino! Oh, menino!
if you're not that big, how much bigger are you there, and how good is that?
Well, I think American people are used to a lot of things. In America, there's lots of TV, lots of media, millions of bands, and they're used to getting hit in the face with all this stuff. And so they become very cold and very skeptical when they look at things like this. And you have to really pound them in the head. You have to get underneath the skin, and in order to affect them. And that's what we had to do. We did 1 million tours in America. We toured for like 2 years, like I said, on one record. And we started off like playing bowling alleys and pizza parlors and places like that. And it just takes a long time. You have to really beat yourself over the head. But you have to just be real persistent and be really obnoxious.
Would you say that maybe European audience are more open to bands like you? Because they toured there too.
Yeah.
And
that's where we broke first, like Europe and
exactly.
and England especially.
Exactly. Especially like British people, are they more open to
I
new
think.
bands, new acts?
I think maybe, yeah. But it was the same there, to tell you the truth. I mean, we you know, played really small places, and you have to keep coming back because you build up to a certain level, and then you leave. And if you stay away too long, people forget.
That's right.
So you have to keep coming back and stay in the face and stay in the face. Like, you have to be a real pest.
How many times?
You have to be like a mosquito.
Come on.
And then people, they have to pay, when mosquitoes flying around you for a long period of time, you have to pay attention to it.
Sure.
That's a philosophy.
Seen it all before. Mind your own fucking business, seen it all before. And how things turn to you stumbling I've seen it all before. Up on the truth, faster than the eye, seen it all